Yeah, the resources we're getting from these farms are relatively minimal in comparison to the amount we can bring back from a typical run at this point. So upgrades to the diner will cost a huge amount of wood, but not as much as I have. Upgrade to the cemetery, extra health after revival, as well as another slot for that type of item. Mud Hut can increase my ability to take out more resources with me. I will like to upgrade some of those if I get the opportunity. Let's start with the diner. Well, I never thought my humble them would go this much, drawing so much attention to myself. There is a bit awkward. For this, I'll tell you my trademark recipe is difficult and treacherous. Many cooks have laid down their knives trying to master it. Boil some water. Throw in some meat dumplings, and when they float up, it's time to serve them. Go now. Use this knowledge for the greater good. What chef was using a knife in that recipe? I have questions. War camp. +4 to the hero's strength. Fine. 20 more times and training session is over. You're ahead of schedule, hero. We have a schedule? I thought we were just training till I'm ready to drop dead. Good joke. This is a schedule, but you're usually unconscious when I talk about it. We can also go for another in the war camp even. Anything left for us to build? Not that I can see. I mean, we can get another warehouse. We can get 2 more watch towers as well. But I don't think I'll focus on doing those first. Let's upgrade the cemetery.
This is a grave. A special one. A wizard was lying here, but he left. By himself, no help from me. He left a book behind. It could be useful.
The wizard left a book behind what could be useful? Excuse me? I'm missing a golden card, or rather I haven't played with one of the golden cards. I think that's the maze. You know what? I think it's time to learn some stuff about Omega. The All-Father and the All-Death. The beginning and the end. Alpha and Omega. Capable of destroying all existence in the blink of an eye. He still values hard work. Alpha created space, time, matter, and temperature. With these 4 quantities intertwined, he began making the world. For there is no other destiny for a creator but to create, and there is no true creation if something existed before it. And so, before the creation, there was only nothing. Alpha was creating the world that, in turn, was creating itself. And the core principle of this world was a great and unending transformation. And so the deathly peace came to be. And as all existence strives to reach it, so eternal movement from the beginning to an end came to be. And when the world was no longer in the throes of its birth, Alpha created life. And he grew fond of it above all else. The fire of the hottest stars, the gravity of supermassive black holes, the fangs and claws of the most terrible beasts, none would dare harm their creator. A curse upon the human and all his kind, the trespasser, the betrayer of all existence, the delirious fool, the defiler. And so, Omega emerged into this world and saw the cosmos. Death could not kill Alpha's body, but it did kill his reason. The creator became the destroyer. Our ugly and improper world deserves to be put to rest, and Omega shall bring it. A blessing upon the human and all his kind, the builder of the great tomb, the helper of destruction, the gateway of oblivion, the loyal servant, Omega. Omega saw the world, swarming, improper, bloated with existence, so ugly and meaningless. From his hands came non-existence. It put motion to rest, and reduced temperature to 0, and rendered time and space into nothing. Layer by layer, an expanse of space came apart, finally at peace. Perfectly balanced with everything else, unified and nullified. the tiniest fraction of this suffering world found its rest. And so, Omega began to work. There will be no more sorrow, no more joy, no mercy, no compassion, no grievance, no gratitude, no past nor future. Nothing good will be left, but nothing bad will be left either. Omega began to work, and eventually, his work will be done. Very similar to the Chaos Frenzied Flame ending of your Elden Ring right there, at least immediately what came to mind for me. We can even upgrade the war camp again. Cemetery even has another level of upgrade too. Oh, baby, we definitely have extra runs to go out there for. So, I'll be honest, I thought there was a fourth character. Cause there's equipment slots, you see? Cause look at the equipment slots. See how this equipment slot has never been used by literally anyone at any time? Is that like planned for DLC, or like am I just not seeing a character? Do I just not have them yet? Can we upgrade the supply depot? Supply depot? No ability to upgrade that. It's not a thing. Maybe it's an arsenal slot? For whom, though? For whom would be that arsenal slot? The warrior gets the helmet. The rogue gets the amulet, and the necromancer. The necromancer gets something else? Multiple arsenals in the same run? I don't think you can get multiple arsenals in the same run. Necro gets shield. Yeah, Necro gets shield. So this slot, we have no idea of the usage of just yet then. Curious and interesting, but curious. Let's upgrade the war camp. I'm impressed. Even these new training machines are no match for you. Just remember, if you relax even a little, you'll lose everything you worked so hard to achieve. All right, good day. So I'll be waiting for you after your next expedition. And bring something for tea, won't you? Okay. We can upgrade a watchtower again, increasing their range. Got the mud huts we can increase as well, getting more supplies that we can take out on a run with us. I think I'm gonna continue with these. Oh, third level of the thing did a difference. Very well, very well. Quite sturdy. Towel looks better than before. I'll make a new training plan for the Watchman so that he doesn't ruin the good impression. Interesting. Not certain what that has accomplished for us. Let's upgrade a mud hut as well. You can't even imagine how happy the people are. Just yesterday, the walls of their shelters were made of mud, and now they live in actual houses. Can I be considered the mayor now? Easy there. We can handle the apocalypse, but not a politician. Reminder, the person saying that is a god. Beautiful! We do have the ability, if we wanted to dip into our supplies and crafts. But I think we're running another person against that final routine. So we're going back to chapter 4. We did the previous one as a necromancer, so now we'll try and do it as a different class. So let's see what we can do here. I mean, if we are going rogue, rogue takes arsenal. Rogue absolutely takes arsenal. I'm gonna tag all of these off and start from Tabula Rasa. That's good. God created humans and devils created politicians. Yeah, okay. I see, right. It's an elemental typing kind of issue. I see. I gotcha. Outposts. Yeah, we can totally put outposts in this field. They will help us in battle. Necromancer's not welcome there, but they take yellow and orange items dropped in battle. Yellow and orange items don't drop in battle for us because we're the rogue. Totally worthwhile. I like Bookery, I like River, I like Forest, I like Desert, I like Suburbs. I like Oblivion. I really like Oblivion if I'm destroying villages and the ziggurats and such. What else do Rogue do? What do Rogue do, though? I can... Well, ultimately, like, Temporal Beacon? Do I want Temporal Beacon, or do I want to go Vampire Mansions instead? If I'm going Vampire Mansion, are we also going Village? Is that like the combo we're taking? If we're doing that, do I take Grove, Blood Grove? I've got too many things that want adjacencies to everything in the Outpost, the Blood Grove, the Vampire Mansion. What if I turn all of those off and take a Battlefield instead? Battlefield, River, we have the ability to generate early sirens, try and generate those early sirens in areas that are covered by an outpost or the crossbowman from the start of the camp. McKee is not good for Rogue Right. Enemy attack speed buffs means more evasion, which means easier exhaustion. Enemy attack speed buffs means more evasion, which means more exhaustion. I'm not certain I'm following you, but I don't intend to get McKee. The intent here is to use the thickets, actually, alongside the rivers. Oh, Battlefield isn't worth it, of course, because we don't get the loot from it. Right. The thickets alongside the river for our attack speed, and the desert is basically only here for the sake of padding out the extra space that I don't need the suburbs or the forests. Is that a case? Do I need that? Maybe I don't need deserts at all in this run. Maybe it's just suburbs and forests. Maybe I keep going with leveling up. The deserts are lowering every creature's HP, including my own. That can be threatening, certainly. Smith's Forge removes 2 items from your inventory and adds an effect for 10 hits per item that lowers incoming damage by 20%. Also ends up giving you golems that you can fight. Animated golems that you can fight. Spider Cocoon is really good for the rogue. I just know that to be true. Ruins. For random basic resource shards when passing through it. I don't know. Rogue has a lot of evasion. If you use desert attack speed and evasion, it'll be good. Well, I mean, the attack speed is coming out of the rogue, the thickets, though. I always run vampires with rogue for more enemies in the fight. The only problem is if I put the vampires in, immediately I want to put some other stuff in too, right? Do I need a village? Do I actually need it, or do I just want it? Swamps if you're not using vampirism. Don't we just have vampirism by base? Like 5% vampirism is this character? Villages and blood groves won't be awful. I could skip adding groves themselves. But I actually do want more targets to be fighting, still. I'm using those for intermittent heals, I guess. Well, but the villagers give you items for their quest rewards. I don't care about the quest rewards at all. Well, if I don't care about the quest rewards at all, do I get the ruins back in instead? They're just hard to fight, and they caused me to limit a lot of my own spaces. Temporal beacons to add more enemies. That doesn't work if I keep the vampire mansion. I guess like I can split them up, but there's no reason in my mind to have both of those at the same time. Thank you for saving us. On second thought, get away, peasants. No village saved here. We can take cemetery. The cemetery's not bad. I really feel like I'm missing like a killer space here. I have bookery activated. Do I need the vampire mansion or do I take the temporal beacon entirely instead? Like the vampire mansion just gets turfed at this point. Because then my adjacencies only require the outpost, Bloodgrove, and bookery. So I'm not too limited on all of my corners. I think this might be it. I kind of like this build. Is Temporal Beacon that good since they run quickly? I like days passing. I don't like loops. Loops increase the scaling of the enemies, but days passing, I think, mostly tend to be good with me. So 1 AoE. 1 AoE, 1 AoE, 1 AoE. So I would have to put 2 more AoEs purposefully in this deck at this point. The extra enemies eventually will be the mages that don't try and run away because of the bookery as well as the temporal beacon. I think I'm going with this. Yeah, I think I'm actually just going to send this one straight. Get him, Rog. Alright. Arnott'll go... honestly, like, probably in this exact position. I can't think of anything else that's going to want to stand there. Pop those swords on. Send them. I was going to suggest checking the level up talents. I think I checked those last time I played Rogue and I have them appropriately set, but I may not be correct on that one. Suburbs. So, suburbs appropriately. Start here, up here, up here. So this is the river. This is where I want the river to go. Actually, I could have a higher space, right? It starts here, up, because that's just going to be a thicket by itself anyway. So here, up. Which means the first suburb goes there. Spider Cocoon wants to go out as soon as possible as well. Ideally, Spider Cocoon wants 2 adjacencies, if possible, too. Just so that it's not spawning all of its enemies on the exact same space. I'm going to make this little area into that. Actually, will I? There and there actually almost seem a lot better. That's relatively early on in the loop. Is there anything else I wanted to intentionally get further on in the early part of the loop? Not necessarily. You go now. Oh, I could have added some items to my village. I forgot about that. I upgraded my village so much that I never did anything with them. Oops. My apologies on that one. Hey, we've got 3 experience per enemy. Here on the first loop, that is actually gigantic. A grove is going to need to go here, and one's going to need to go here as well. My god. The suburb strat is totally real right now. great position for our first trample beacon. I can't put the Bookery in that position. It's too good. This, I think, will be my first Bookery then. Because both of the spaces where I will have Bookery encounters will also be covered by the Temporal Beacon, so we'll have Temporal and Bookery mages really early on. Another suburb. Incredible. Is there a third stage of suburbs? Not as far as I'm aware, but I don't think there even can be at this point. What? I've never seen a opening this good for experience. There's our beacon. Let's get the... Oh, that's a good position for a temporal beacon too. All right, first set of weapons. Honestly, I'm probably just gonna go for the basic stats. Items, evasion, same on each. I guess this is actually higher evasion because of the evasion bonus. The river up. Thicket and Bloodgrove. That actually helps us set up the Bloodgrove if I really wanted it to. Like this thicket here could put a Bloodgrove one space down. A thicket here, which actually the thicket does want to go here, has the ability to put Bloodgroves in 2 spaces that aren't particularly good, but it can put them there. I think I'll hold on to the Bloodgrove for a normal grove to appear. Let's pop that thicket down. Outpost. This is good to see as well. I haven't really got the fights for it to help me with just yet, but... it'll do good enough, I hope. Oh, I love the days passing even faster right now as well. It's just more experience for me. All right. Picky this early lowers the quantity of items received at the camp tile by 3, but increases the quality of exchange for trophies. Yeah, absolutely. River thicket. Ah. So we've got bonus XP of 7. I think this suburb is actually going to get doubled from 1 to 2 and then 2 to 4 rather than 1 to 2 to 3. If that's the case, putting this river down will give us 1 experience from this and then 2 experience from this for a total of 10. Okay, that's how it works. Yeah, this suburb right now is worth 4 experience per enemy killed, which is worth 2 city spaces stacked atop one another. I guess it also has to have the rivers near it in adjacency. I like this. I like this a lot. Yeah, it seems to be stacking multiplicatively. Okay. Crematory. You should probably be there. Reasonable fighting space for it. Evasion bonus. Also, it's just very big armor. We take that. Evasion and defense. Oof. Really don't want to give us any swords worthwhile. Damage to wall is huge. We're looking for as much damage to wall as we can get. I definitely need to also put down as many fight spaces as possible, so another cemetery looks good to me. I'm gonna go cemetery there and there, I think. I see you still prefer your Vienna method of suburbs near rivers. Yeah. What can I say? It serves a role to my heart as well. Another thicket here, and another spider cocoon? No, that was on the opposite side of this I wanted. Yes. Two adjacencies for a actually, you know what? If I could rewind 2 seconds, I just wouldn't do it. I was being cheeky since you meant Venice that time. It wasn't even picked up since I did not have the framework to appreciate this cheekiness. But I get it now. All I have to be is directly told. The best part about the river strategy is that it not only do you convert your burbs into cities, it also lets you buff your forest at the same time. That's something I was trying to explain on one of the episodes recently, that it allowed for parallel production of early experience as well as getting the thickets out when I get them. Which I thought was a relatively good argument for it. Maybe that's not the case though. Hang on. How do I snake this the best? I think it might be time to get thickets out on the other side of the map. Well, not even the other side of the map, because ultimately what I want is this to be a thickets area, and this whole side to be towns and river. With some amount of thickets for the start. So the river can loop up here and loop like around a thicket here and then up and then like around and then up and around, and then be able to do that to get out. Actually, I like that a lot. The more I think about that plan, the more sold on it I am quite quickly. I found myself smitten. Oh, we're gonna get summon bad boy. I gotta try and pop down some more spaces to block off the Lich's Palace. Beautiful. That space is also under threat, so is that one, and then the normal actual like floor tiles, so I probably want to make them groves if I have the ability. I don't want to get rid of this thicket though. Thicket's good. Suburb, river. Again in that position. Anything for the Oblivion? I think not. I'm just going to start hoping to hold things. Yeah, avoid placing things until next loop to avoid summoning Omicron. I wasn't seeing myself get closer to it fast enough to justify not playing anything there. Right now, this river only increases our attack speed. It does not increase our experience gain, so I'm not going to play it yet. This grove is eventually going to be placed here, and that's also probably not going to trigger our rollover right now, but I'm not certain, so I won't do it yet. Oh, wow. Level up. Fuss. Probably going to be Fuss here, to be honest. The hero receives 7% less damage for every enemy starting after the second enemy. I am intentionally putting as many enemies on the map as densely as possible. Okay. Grove, grow there. That suburb grows. Wow, do I really want to go another loop before I do this? So the Lich's Palace would spawn in 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 spaces Lich's Palace would manage to spawn into. Oh, hang on. Let's try our armor first. Crit damage percentage, pure damage. An amulet that's good. Counter, crit damage chance, and crit damage percentage. Oh, yep. We'll take that. And then I'm going to take the boots of crit chance. Upgrade our weapon yet again. Perfect. Oh boy. I think Omicron can have 3. Only 3. I think the top 3 above the campfire. I think in Act 4, they also spawn out an additional space. Yeah, spawns out 2 tiles on the cardinal directions. That's the additional space I'm talking about. It's too much extra experience not to play that basically immediately. I will use an Oblivion, however, to destroy... Oh, and also this one out here. Right, of course. There's one more space. So the river is going to be snaking like this. There. So this will be a thicket. And then it snakes around, up, around. Well, actually, probably like around to there. And then it can go next to the water. No, but I don't need it to. So the river is actually just going to connect from the top part, which means it has the ability to start splitting out into kind of its own form here. And start doing something like this. Which means this space and this space are both free for thickets. I'm trying to plan very far in the future with respect to this river. Finally trying to do it like that. Let's see if that works. Come on. Good fishes from this bookery, please. Love having 3 exactly to send them as well. That'll be going down there, so... That's another thicket space. Outposts, suburbs. I do want to go outpost here. I also kind of want to put it here, to be honest. Have the full 3 coverage. No. We lose 1 space here, but then the Hungry Grove gets like a full 7. So I think that's definitely worth it. Also do this on the opposite side. Doing that on the far side is even more appealing to me. Build the one immediately next to the river. Send the other forest into another suburb. I think we're ready. I think we'll absolutely slam this nerd. Stay. How is it possible? Shut up. You already have a score to settle. Back to life at 50% HP, apparently. slew him, but yeah, I did lose my first of my revives. So that's River. Thicket's still doing strong in this area. So this go here. What happens if you get the second bar past the notch before you reach the Lich? I'm assuming you skip a boss. Seems like that'd make the most sense to me. Oh my god, we have weapons now. I did not even see these. We should have probably equipped these for the boss. That might have actually helped. Oops. I think I had these. I think you actually do get these before you fight the boss. So oops, 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 oops. Big oops. Defense on the shield. Sorry, and there. And then magic shield for crit damage chance. We'll do that too. Just hard upgrade there again. No worries, I did get them after the bossman. Thank you, Angela. Much appreciated. Ooh, these all are bad. Not absolutely wild about any of these. For each 10% of missing max HP that is, the hero has a 0.5% chance to attack rather, for 1,000% damage. I think I might actually take Pickpocket. No, I don't even build counter. I'm taking Lethal Weakness, but I'm not happy about it, okay? You're not allowed to say that I'm happy about it, because it's wrong. Fights are really taking the mickey out of us now. That's a good position for our next temporal beacon. Covers battles that aren't really battles yet. Spider Cocoon. Let's get some more of those out there. This suburb makes our next city. It's even more experience per kill. This planning is too proactive. Actually gonna have to continue planning, or I just let them roll into rivers eventually. No, I will always want to place the thickets regardless. Okay, well. River goes out that way and then starts snaking back up this way, meaning this is going to be a good position for a thicket. Next, Grove. Put that in a position like this. Actually, that one's fine. I only really care about getting the Hunger Grove in this little nook here. Actually, maybe I should be basically planning mostly around the AoEs that aren't just one space up and one space across, but Blood Groves. So Blood Grove would be the same as the ethos generally is up in this direction. Perfection. Another suburb out this direction. Yeah, I'm gonna need to fill out the rest of the blocks down here for full effectiveness. Actually, you know what? This is gonna become an outpost. Then that's gonna become a Hunger Grove over on the other side. Another Spider Cocoon. Sure. Right before the boss. Just gives us the ability to have some assistance in those fights. Old Scars! Finally! The hero gets +1 max HP for each trophy he gets since this trait is taken. This is going to be a huge part of our health scaling. It is what we have wanted since the very start. Cemetery for additional difficulty here, I guess? This is going to need to be a blood grove at some point, so I'm just going to position it such that I have 2 spaces the grove can go to support that instead. More thickets for the same position, so this one is looping now up and around this, so it goes doot 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 doot. And then it'll want to loop around like that. So this is another safe position. My God. Please just let me scaffold. Just let me mark parts of the map so that I know where the river is going to go and I don't have to reteach myself every single time like I'm about to do again. Okay, so the river's around there. Then it would want to snake up like that. So this is going to be a thicket too. Hey, there's the grove I was looking for. Oblivion in a bookery. Well, I'll be. And another grove. Okay. Grove grow here. A bookery. I mean, yeah, I can take out that village with the Oblivion. I feel like I should. Can also take out Lich's palaces, but it's not like we're about to summon another Lich. And the bookeries just need to be in the AoE of that, so. That'll have to do. Ooh, immediately another bookery. Do I think I take that. I think I proactively take this one. Another grove. We don't turn down anything that generates cards. Groves generate cards. We don't turn down groves. I mean, it's as simple as that. High level equipment. Damage to wall, attack speed, evasion bonus, critical damage up 20%. That could also combo with the ritual sword, which has another critical damage up. Attack speed and pure damage on the armor instead, though. I feel like I might not even end up going for those boots. Well, actually, the boot is also just 16% evasion. Well, this is also 17% evasion as well as 2 damage to wall and some attack speed. Better. Pure damage and critical damage. No, we just gotta straight up replace those as well, and then counter and crit damage chance. Fine to do that too. Okay, yeah, now we're shredding enemies about the rate I wanted to. Thank you, game. You've finally seen the way. Right, because it'll loop around this. Then one space up would be a problem, so this is where another thicket go. Hey, we just finished that loop. Excellent. As much time as is possible before going for the next. Not at all certain it'll be enough, but I'm gonna try. Another Oblivion, another suburb. Ari the Oblivion, though. It's probably time to start taking down Lich's palace. So I really don't want to turn down anything giving me more combats again. As said earlier, this loops up. I mean, we know that both of these can be thickets as well, just trading out the rest of it. Attack speed and counter are fatiguing me at the moment. We need more damage then, so that our attack speed is utilized less. Forest again, don't need that. Thankfully, we have a whole mess of bookeries. Come on, one of those bookeries has got to activate sometime soon, right? Certainly not to remove the suburbs from me, though. Those are good. Another suburb, another river. One across, one up. Yep. Oh, I actually shouldn't have even made that a thicket. I may turn that into a suburb later by blowing it up. Another outpost. Still do really like these getting two spaces at the same time, so we'll place that there. Come on, level up soon. And spiders are already overrun on that space. I don't really think it's necessary anymore for me to have spiders. I guess they are weak enemies that have like a whole group of themselves that helps. Child of the Forest. A rat wolf may come to aid during your battle, 75% chance thereof. There's card sharp, 10% chance to play another tile of the same kind if you should like, after placing a tile. That is to keep the card rather. I'm gonna look at the new traits and see if we see anything else. That fighting against 3 or more enemies will grant you an additional trophy. That's more max HP, and we are attempting to do as many big AoE fights as possible. Can't even imagine. See? Look at this one. Can't even imagine something more worthwhile than that. Yeah. And no need for those forests. Just a couple more spiders, then we get our second boss fight. Is there any downside to Outpost guys dying? Any downside, rather, to Outpost guys dying? Not that I know of. Let's stay and fight. Oh, fatigue is really getting me here. Never mind. Never mind. Not the right time to have said that. It's really getting me and then immediately winning. The suburbs up there. Wow, good equipment. I'm gonna take the pure damage and damage to wall as well as counter on the amulet here. Oh, but a damage to wall 6 and evasion bonus of 9% extra. Attack speed of 31%. Oh boy. On the boots. Damage to wall and the evasion bonus. This has counter and crit chance. I do have counter on other pieces of equipment, specifically the armor has counter. This gives us some pure damage we otherwise have a little bit lacking in access to. It combines with the pure damage of this ritual sword to give us an extra modifier as well. I think I'll be taking that one. Then more forests and a temporal beacon, looking at what's covered on this map so far. I can put a temporal beacon here to cover a couple of spaces, which looks good. That's probably the last temporal beacon we place, though. Not feeling anywhere near as safe in this run as I was in the last. Oof. That space was really hard. I'm actually just going to place an outpost right there for helping with that space. Is that really a good idea? Maybe not. I want a Hungry Grove in that area. I really do. It wants to be in this position, which means that if I just put a thicket there, I can literally put a Hungry Grove immediately above it. Sure, I will put the outpost there, actually. My god. Immediately get the Blood Grove to do it with, but I still need a thicket. How are these spiders screwing me so bad? Entangling. 5% chance to immobilize target with a weapon instead of attacking, adds a spider web to the location, and a 10% chance to poison the target. And that just does damage over time. All units except spiders who receive the spider web lower their attack speed by 20% until the end of battle. I can't think of any special reason that they would be that difficult for us, but oops. Guess they are. Yeah, can't just randomly put a grove here for the Blood Grove. You know what? I'm going to put the Blood Grove over here before it gets ruined by a bookery throwing it away. More than fine. No reason not to have done that, to be honest. Also, all of these rat wolves are giving us food. Next Blood Grove. Oh, I feel really weak right now. What have I done that's done that? My vampirism's 6%. I've got high attack speed. I've got some pure damage. I've got damage to wall. Maybe I legitimately do just need to focus above all else on my damage to wall stat. Okay, another bookery as well. Where is bookery not covering? I guess here. Could be any kind of space out in this area. I guess I'll go here. Strange position, but it's not like the river is going to be doubling the effect of any landscape tile in that area. There's no landscape tile that can go there. Continues. The thickets continue too. So that goes up. And then realistically, it wants to loop around this space so it can modify thickets at the top and here. Temporal beacon and another cemetery. Cemetery. I mean, again, now we're just looking for damage spaces to fill. I can totally go there. Another temporal beacon for... Nope. Not gonna be using that. Car job. Supplies and Child of the Forest. I think we'll go Child of the Forest. Just get another unit out on the battlefield 75% of the time. River Oblivion over the village. And then the rest of this only matters in how quickly I can create cities. Top bar along there. Perfect. The Rogue Run's certainly going worse than the Necromancer run. Definitely. Can't contest that. We haven't got loot anywhere near as valuable as we had in the Necromancer run as early as we had it in that run. That said, the Rogue more commonly upgrades their loot than the... Get the Grove... There. Yeah, that looks good to me. The Rogue more routinely upgrades their equipment than the Necromancer, so I wouldn't really want to have a kind of set it and forget it situation going on there anyway. Two more suburbs. Another Bookery and Oblivion. Oblivion for 0 spaces? Really want Oblivion at the moment? Unless I want to destroy this Bookery and replace it, but I do actually want the Bookeries to exhaust themselves. Ah, but I can use the Oblivion for the Lich's Palaces still. Phew. Forget Spider Cocoon. I mean, my roadside adjacencies are Bookery, Spider Cocoon, Outpost, and Hungry Grove. Do I want any more Spider Cocoons at this point? Spiders are really the problem that keeps being a problem. Good point, well made. I'm gonna have a watch of my HP, my boss bar here, and try not to summon another one before we finish. If at all possible. I did that. I have to throw both my suburbs. I wanted those. Okay. Suburb, and there again. Rivers roaming out this way. So that's going to roll around there, up there, down. So that's going to have a space, and then that's going to have a space. Let's have a look at these items as well. Finally, a piece of equipment upgrade in the guitar here with 6 damage to wall and crit damage chance. We will be replacing it instead of the ritual sword, I believe. Boots of pure damage, huge amount. Damage to all of 3, evasion and crit bonus. Oh, there we go. Damage to all as well as evasion and crit bonuses there. Okay, so that makes this the right piece to equip alongside it. More pure damage, critical damage, no. Beauty. So we have 20% chance to strike for 200% damage. 74 bonus experience. Okay, so it wasn't incredible, but it did fine. It did reasonably. Would Oblivion on the forest next to the suburb make the city helpful? Oblivion on the forest next to the suburb make the city helpful. Yes, so Oblivion this thicket in order to make this into a city. I would love to do that, and I will do that as soon as possible. I'll probably do it with the first Oblivion and suburb that I have access to after completing the entire area already. Temporal, Spider Cocoon, Bookery. Reasonable enough position for that, and it will get a lot of mages eventually. Another cemetery. Those should really go out on this straight stint, I think, now too. Oh, I'm loving getting these rivers so quickly and actually managing to do this. Forget so. That'll be a thicket too. We're getting very close to the end of the suburb build. This Rat Wolf is doing ridiculous work to us. Can't be damaged by more than 30% of his max HP in a single attack. So I guess it plus evading. We'll put the screws to us there. We've got our first suburb that is not able to be placed anywhere unless I destroy that thicket. So next up, let's get that thicket. Sure, outpost in that position. I don't feel too bad about it. Or too strongly about it at all. Feel like our damaged wall is doing quite effectively at this point. Let's get a blood grove here to cover those bottom 3 spaces. I'll now get another grove there because I can fight more easily in that space too. I don't know if I really care about more outposts here. No, I'm happy throwing those for a different piece of material, if I can get it. You know what would be fun to try in the future? Trying to spawn the second boss as soon as the first one does to see if it overwrites the first. You do that with the Maze of Memories, I think, because it accounts for a huge amount of space, but does nothing. So you just save it until after you've spawned the first boss, plop it down and a bunch of other stuff in a single loop. I think it's totally doable. I just don't know whether or not it's totally worthwhile. Oh, this one also needed that placement. Forgot about that for way too long. Another cemetery is more than happy to go down in basically any position. Cemeteries and groves, I think I just throw out on the field at this point. Wishy, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Enjoy your emotes in chat. Welcome back to the Republic for the 5th month. We did it. Oblivion. The suburb instead. Beautiful. Now, the next Oblivion, I think, goes here for the village question mark. We've got thickets still, so this is looping up. Kind of like... Honestly, I don't want this to loop back up again, so this is all just going to be cut off here and just be thickets. This map is kind of complete a lot faster than the other map was. As well, almost disconcertingly quickly. So that'll be looping around there, and then going to that side, and trying to do something similar there. Level up! God's Eye, 25% chance that any enemy will have 1 less ability in combat, no effect on bosses. I think I take this. Over Blissful Ignorance and Pickpocket, more than happy to. It only has to save us like 1 particularly bad ability 1 time for it to be more valuable than the others in my estimation. So proud of this river. Just more river spaces, please. Let's stay for the fight. The hunt begins. Second. Absolutely fatigued out of my mind. killing every one of the hounds before I even target the boss. Oh, I died. Wait a second. Wait a second, we actually legitimately died. Oops. I didn't
think that was possible.
I forgot that I didn't have the extra revival of having the Ancestral Crypt. I figured we were going to be able to make our way through this battle. Oof. Oof, indeed. I will be taking all of my resources home. I mean, absolutely. But wow. Act 4 Hunter hits like a truck, even harder when the dogs are dead, yeah. And I guess we needed some more upkeep in the middle of that fight as well. Given the materials that I got from, you know, Picky and everything, I honestly thought we were going to be fine, but I guess this sword just lacked a little damage, I think. I think attack speed stacking is bait on the thief. Yeah, I want the thickets to be the attack speed. I just want the thief to provide the damage. So I guess, like, I'm trying for their equipment not even to optimize around attack speed and try and kind of leave that as a stat that'll deal with itself, but that doesn't work if the game doesn't offer you the pieces that you want for that. Alas. At least you broke even on the cost to take everything with you? Fair. Also, I mean, this gives me the ability to do a couple more things here at this point. The supply can now get absolutely filled. Wait, hang on. We don't have the ability to just put everything in that we want? Oof. Okay. Extra damage against the undead. That's good. I also do really like increasing boss damage done. Also on defense for every card in the player's hand. Effects don't stack. I think that's just a unique enough thing to run. Alchemist Shelf, +1 to the max number of potions. That's huge. Every time the hero receives stable branches, he has a 10% chance of receiving more. Oak Bed, +1 to the hero's max, +1 to the percentage of the hero's max HP. Eh. 1+ additional loop. No, not super worthwhile. It doesn't look like. Lowers the resource penalty for dying or retreating by 4%. Definitely don't care about that. So 1 for every food item, and those are vampires over there instead. Let's get the raises the chance of finding a rare item by 10%. That seems pretty big. I can get silverware out there for a little bit more damage against them. I mean, there's also the Skinner's Knife for the extra chance of stuff, and Rat Wolves rations. Are any of these not worth my time? Actually, I'm not even certain I have to choose that right now. We'll upgrade this mud hut. Really? Supply didn't increase? Hang on. Okay, so it's available supply slots for furniture, tools, food, jewelry, but then ultimately there's another statistic here, max equipped items, I think. You want a lot more stone before you give me that. Fine, we'll deal with that as soon as we can. Let's have a look at another one of these unique areas. You know what? Tell me about the Lich's Palace. It was here that the sorcerer Omicron conducted his futile experiments in an attempt to stop the heat death of the universe. In an attempt to stop the heat death of the universe. Interesting. So I guess Omicron being an element who had previously risen against Omega? I didn't think that was the case. This structure does not belong in your homelands. It's something completely new and otherworldly. The architecture is not overly eccentric, but something about this building just screams that it's not from this universe. Then why does the Lich's Palace feel so menacing? Is it the unknown mineral it's built from? Or maybe it's the rare flashes of strange light in its empty rooms? No, just come close enough and you'll instantly understand the whole building is an inseparable part of its mighty master himself, and follows him wherever he goes. Ah, he has a lair. He takes his lair with him. Having also fought a bunch of them, let's have a look at the Watcher Mage. Is it a Watcher armed with knowledge, or is it knowledge that armed itself with a Watcher? Whichever it might be, this creature sees something wrong with your existence, and it's trying very hard to rectify this before it's too late.
My dear Marius, these ugly, bold gremlins don't quit bothering me. This awful time tower began showing up by my ancestral library. Their odious little eyes are watching me from afar. Sometimes my nights are even over before the moon is out, and sometimes they last for a hazy eternity. I can't satiate my hunger, now my reputation is in shambles. These watchers should fear us, but I somehow am not given such regard. I require your help, Marius. Together, we ought to purge these annoying rats from here.
An example of a lost letter. Magical knowledge can possess a mind. The Watcher Mages are clear proof of that. No longer a passive patroller, the Watcher Mage interferes with the world in a way that defies understanding as well. A Watcher Mage might, in that specific order, save a rabbit from a pack of wolves, destroy a trade caravan, create 12 stone cubes, and then stop moving for a few days. And it's not even the strangest of their known possible deeds. Magical societies agree these actions are not chaotic nor accidental. Rather, they're done in pursuit of some unknown far-reaching goals. When my blade traveled through his body without dealing any harm, the dreadful realization came to my mind he was not a part of our world. He forces himself to conform to its common rules. He's injured because there's external conditions for that, and he feels pain because he agreed to it. The being could easily ignore the effects of existence, but then the existence would also in effect, ignore his attempts to intervene. That's why my attack didn't do him any damage. The Watcher simply didn't see me sneaking up. That's kind of similar to Omega almost as well, in that it was Omega's belief in the power of our weapon, or our ancestors' weapon, that managed to take down Omega. I can build another warehouse, and ideally I really should. But there's only 2 positions I can build one in right now, apparently. Oh god. Mud hut. If I build that there, can I then... Actually, it won't even let me build a warehouse now. Oh, right. The warehouse has to be adjacent to the supply depot, specifically. Unfortunately, that means I need to destroy the defensive forge. Ah, man. Plus 10 to the camp's item limit. Warehouse is important. Do I destroy the decent forge, or do I just destroy the supply depot and then move it? Ugh, I don't want to do either of those. What? Oh well. I think I need to get some more resources. Do have the ability to alchemize for them if I desperately wanted to instead. 900 gets me a total of 18 stone. Oh, but it looks like... Oh no, I have 5 of them by base. Okay, so 18 stone. What does it cost to rebuild the supply depot? It's got to be a huge amount of resources. I think we need to go out on another run before we do anything here. I do want it to be the rogue as well. Is it just going to be a salty run back? I didn't want to just salty run back, but that just might be the right idea right now. I think so. Let's get him. Because we can. Is there any item that I decided was useless or more useful? Not particularly. Okay. Let's get the arsenal out as early as possible. A salty run back? Exactly. second. Which of these has more spaces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we build out on this direction. I feel like spiders bad. Spiders are huge for me. They are so many of my trophies, especially early on. And a huge amount of experience because there's like a decent amount of them. They give us trophies, but they also give us experience from each of the suburbs. I love them so much. I don't think I could forsake them. 1 up, 1 across, 1 up, 1 across. No, 1 up, 1 across, 1 up, 1 across. There. 1 up, okay, cool. So it starts here. I can't believe I just did that. I thought I was putting down a suburb, so I put it 1 space to the left of where I wanted it to be. Damn. So I guess this is just gonna be built straight up then. Restart the run immediately. My heart agrees with you. I want you to know my heart agrees with you that is the right thing to do right now. But my brain recognizes that no run will ever satisfy me entirely in its opening. And if I do not appreciate that and then run with the runs that I get, I'm just gonna end up not having the resilience in the future when I need it. But my god. I lose a little bit from that, but I guess I don't lose that much. Oblivion Forests, still don't need those. One space up immediately. Another space up immediately. I mean, like, this is great. So we're looking for something like a here and here for 2 different spiders, I think. The real loss is the value we lost along the way. There, left up. Yeah. So it's 1 more space, and then left up. Right? There, up. Got the girded side there. So 1 space left up. I think we can actually go across 1 left right now and be fine. Can I get a bookery, please? Getting a lot of these forests. Evasion bonus, pure damage, evasion bonus. I guess we'll double stack the evasion bonuses. And get some extra pure damage on top. Can I actually get Old Scars as my first pickup here? I would love it, game. Please. Oh, please do that. Second Spider Cocoon for the same position we'd previously outlaid. Second Oblivion. Really early on that second Oblivion as well. I haven't even got anything on a first Oblivion yet. Can't even Oblivion the end of the river. Oh, if only. I could legitimately imagine myself attempting to rectify it like that. Not even difficult to do so. There, left, wait, there. Looping around. That's. Yeah, I definitely could have when the river was only one tile in its infancy at the start, but I needed to act faster than that, unfortunately. There we go up. Suburb next to it. Finally, I know that the mace has damage to wall as its stat. That's what it always offers. Crit damage chance, counter. I don't even think I upgrade. It's not entirely obvious to me that I need it. Level number 1. Okay, we don't get what we want. I'm going to take card sharp super early on. 10% chance to keep the card after placing its tile. Doesn't work for golden cards. I recognize that that's going to result in us building the map very, very quickly if we put down everything that we want to. So maybe it allows us to be a little bit more picky. Another grove. Groves really like going on corners like that, giving us the ability to put out multiple hungry groves off of them. Everything really likes a corner like that, frankly, though. We could get 2 outposts on the camp. As well as a hungry grove affecting it. Doesn't seem like a half bad idea. Second outpost. And a spider cocoon on this side. Yeah, these outposts are here largely to block the palaces. I also do have 2 Oblivions if I really wanted to just kill the palaces after they came up. Not all of my removal has to be proactive. Some of it can be reactive. Can I please have a bookery? Please, game. I've been so patient. Oh, I've been really patient. Best weapon here is Ritual Sword. So... oof, no, the damage to wall is not worth... not upgrading that weapon. I have to change it instead. Evasion bonus, counter, attack speed, critical damage. So none of those are going to combo together, unfortunately, so I just go for the best stats. Attack speed versus critical damage. Well, that's going to be attack speed. Right now, at least. Evasion bonus on them, some counter. Yeah, so we've just got the kind of exclusive stats there. None of those are modifying one another. Finally for the bookery. You go here. Our first temporal beacon comes down too. That can cover the boss space. Not a bad position to put it. Man. Really poor visibility for the temporal beacons in general, unfortunately. I think I'll just give it Dominion over that entire corner. Let's also destroy one of the Lich's palaces that spawned afterwards. Grove Cemetery suburbs. Grove on another corner. Cemetery on another straightaway. Old scars, please? Still no? Marauder, fighting against 3 or more enemies gives you an additional trophy. I'll take it. I'll take it and see if we can do anything with it. Even if I'm not incredibly hopeful. We get another outpost. We're totally ready for the spaces, don't need it for the outposts. And then if it tries to loop out in that position, that's even worse. So up one more space, and then it'd try to start cutting off, I guess. Sure. Where's this other bookery I put down? I'm ready for its embrace. Huge temporal beacon, though. So, loop, 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 loop. Like that. Finally, second bookery. A little bit more river. Thank you. The rivers are really the ones that I want to double extend their reach there. Great position for a bookery. Lethal weakness, nothing is sacred, 3 HP for each kill. I mean, that's certainly more valuable earlier rather than later. I don't feel incredibly confident in even this fight right now. Maybe I should have. It was not even slightly a problem. A Dirk for extra damage and evasion bonus. Damage to all on the amulet, as well as a huge amount of defense. Pure damage and damage to all. Attack speed on the armor? I don't think so. I prefer defense? Actually, you know what? Maybe I'm fine with attack speed armor at the moment. Evasion bonus, pure damage. I'll take you. Already fatiguing on our attacks, that's mildly concerning. We're attacking too quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna go for the extra defense. Basically, the best I can do with these temporal beacons is cover 3 spaces at a time right now, unfortunately. That's actually where the river needs to go, on top, so I can't even put that there. That's going to be our last temporal beacon, then. Spider cocoons, still worthwhile for us to pop out if we can. I guess they don't need to have infinite adjacencies all of the time. Cemeteries still need to be summoned too for just additional fights. Can I have some more Hungry Groves? I ask, get no Hungry Groves. We'll get one next. Thicket. Sure, that space. Immediately destroy the village it summons. I feel worse about this run than the last one. I'm not sure if I can put my finger on why. I think largely it's just the positioning of the map. I guess also the fact that we haven't got Old Scars yet, but Old Scars was our 4th, I think, level up on the other one, so we're kind of on pace for that. Two more thickets. These are going... This is going to go across, and then up like this, snaking there. We still have our res and our HP is generally doing better than last time. That's true. That's true. We didn't lose the res against Omicron. I'm happier with my weapons at pace right now, I guess. Gonna look for the positives. Gigantic impact of that Blood Grove. Not to be underestimated. Oh my god, the river! Another level up, please, Old Scars. No Old Scars, but we do get Smokescreen, which I do like. After losing 20% of his max HP in a battle, the hero will evade all attacks for 2 seconds. I always think that's going to be huge in impact. Of course, I'm not like keeping a direct eye on exactly how effective it is, but it certainly seems it from feel. Ah. Maybe I should have finished this loop before I did that. Maybe I definitely should have done that. Although, as I recall last time, this boss wasn't a particularly large problem for us. Hopefully that holds with this build too. Also, we do have assistance for the fight. Let's stay. 2 guards on our side. Hit the fatigue. You can see the orange bar below my HP. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. There goes our res. Okay. Killed the boss. I think now we are much more on pace with our previous run. Attack speed, damage to all, and counter. Pure damage and damage to all. Unfortunately, the weapon is significantly less powerful. Defense and counter. Pure damage and critical damage. Too big. Pure damage and critical damage on the armor as well, promising that we will be multiplying those effects after we add them together by 10% for additional work. Defense, attack speed, damage to wall. None of my weapons are going to have damage to all. So I think I will actually just avoid the mace. Just go for both ducks. This one's evasion bonus, this one's evasion bonus. The other one is higher damage. I guess I don't even really need to change. Evasion bonus and crit damage. Evasion bonus, crit damage, sure. We have no crit chance. We do decent damage when we hit. We also have 41% evasion, which is, I think, pretty reasonable. I think I'll just let him go with that. Soldier on. A spider cocoon for our troubles. Thickets that I don't really know where to place yet. That's gonna go out there. So that's gonna be a thicket eventually. No temporal. We do place spider cocoon still, as well as additional thickets. And that. My god. Littering the entire area with spider cocoons. One spawns 3 of them in a row. Can I get old scars for my next level, please? Otherwise, it's just going to be way too late to really have any impact. Another outpost. Most of the places I want to put outposts right now, I also wanted to put a Hungry Grove, but haven't gotten the access of them yet. Let's throw that there then, and the outposts. Boy, I think I'm gonna put that in this. No, that's where a Hungry Grove ideally would go at some point in the future. You know what? I'll throw it out here to try and take care of that cemetery for us. But we never have a problem in that area. More outpost, another grove. This grove goes here. Outpost for... two individual spaces. I think maybe it's time for me to stop playing outposts. I'll take fuss because we are doing AoE fights, but then that's no old scars, is all I'm saying. Another spider cocoon for a similar position. Cemeteries, basically wherever they want to be. Oh boy. Not loving how our health is positioned at the moment. This Oblivion doesn't look like it's actually going to particularly help us now. And take down another of the Lich's palaces. Freeing up some extra space. Grove number 2. Hey, Luna. Welcome on in. Suburb to continue packing out our cities. River is almost back to actual useful terrain. Thank heck for this next bookery as well. Another thicket, so it goes there, 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 there. Unless it doesn't want to loop that far. That. Over, up, down. Okay, actually, I prefer that. But it's not going to matter that much, unfortunately. I kind of figured that was about to happen. Take all. +2 max HP for every point of defense the hero has. I think I do want that. We break even on skulls, of course, right, because I take all, I get 4, and then I leave with 4 as well. Yes, okay, we will take all and retreat on the basis of that then. Encyclopedia is going to tell us a little about one of the spaces that was most dangerous to the... Why don't you tell us about the spiders that I am still yet to learn directly about? Never mind, I had learned directly about them. What else was in that build? There were the spiders, there were the groves. A gentle rustle of leaves, a crack of dry branch, and a feeling of being watched. A small deciduous forest, perfect for gathering branches. Groves are useful and beautiful, but rather unsuitable for idle walks. Often, groves serve as a home for the wild beasts, whose favorite tactic is a lengthy ambush with a swift leap at the victim's throat. If you managed to cross a grove without encountering anything life-threatening, it doesn't mean you were lucky to avoid a lurking predator rather. It only means the predator's belly was already full.